Okay, so I wanted to do this for a long time, and I was trying to figure out how I wanted to do this. City builder rankings. I have just over 100 city builders here to rank, and as far as I can tell, they are the best city builders that have ever existed. And there's a chance I might have forgotten something. Do just say if I've forgotten something, if you're watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment about what game I've forgotten. I'll slot it in. But I just wanted to get kind of how I would rank the top 100 city builders. But of course, because it's the top 100, it means none of them are bad. None of them are terrible games. So you can see the color choice I made for S, A, B, C, D. The lowest one is kind of a greenish tinged yellow. Like, they're all good. All of these are good. Even if a game I put at the bottom of D rank here, it's still good. Everything here is worth playing. And also, I have not fully played every single city builder that has ever existed. So some of this will take into account general consensus, maybe stuff you say, but this is gonna be a pretty solid list because I've played most of these. There's some particular older ones or even some mobile ones which I haven't fully gotten into. I've like maybe touched them a little bit, but will I be judging them without mods? The mods will be thought of. So on that tile up at the top next to the title, City Builder Ranking, I can simply, I'm doing this in my own graphic because I did look at the ranking website that everyone uses and it's too much fluff, it's too much stuff. So I can just go ahead and click and rank these wherever. And this stack here, which feels very solitaire from the 90s, it's in no particular order. I think it might be in reverse alphabetical order. That's why it's starting with Zeus and the next one is Workers and Resources. So this is going to be a little bit fiddly, but I'm going to try and get this ranked properly. At least according to mostly my opinion, but also your opinions and consensus matters as well. So I know some games are ranked higher than others, and I will take that into consideration. So Zeus, Poseidon, I'm just gonna pop it into like the middle of A for now. Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic, this is definitely gonna be an S tier game. It is probably the best city builder. Actually, no, I think I will say it is the best city builder of 2024, which was last year. Because it fully released in 2024. So I would say it's up there. Whiskerwood is not fully out yet. So for games that are not fully out yet, I do want to have them here because they may rank higher later, but I'll just put them down here somewhere in D tier because they're not fully out yet and they could rise in the ranks later because time changes all things. So that's Whiskerwood down there. And keep in mind, none of these are bad. Bottom of D tier on this list is still good. Note the colors. The colors indicate there's no orange or reds here. D is gonna be like a 65% positive rating game. Wandering Village. This one is pretty good, actually. One of the more recent ones. I think they're still getting more updates and everything. It's turned out quite well. I'll put it S tier, but maybe on the second row. For now, we'll move these around a little bit. If Zeus and Poseidon isn't S tier, you're gonna cry so hard. It's just, I find Zeus and Poseidon to be, of the four, like it's probably gonna be S tier. Sure, let me move it back up there. I'll put it up in S tier for now. Utopia, The Creation of a Nation. I have played this more recently, and it's the third ever city builder ever made. It is still kind of good, but compared to pretty much all other games, it's gonna be down here in D tier because there are stuff better, but I would actually still say Utopia Creation of the Nation is in the top 100 city builders of all time because it was still fine. Urbeck. Urbeck is loosely a city builder, and I'm gonna like, it's more of a puzzle game. It's more of a puzzle game where it can be considered a city builder. Now, this is not doing a top 8, okay? This is not a top 8. We can be a bit looser with the definition, but because Urbeck is less of a traditional city builder, I will rank it lower, but it is quite popular and quite well liked. I'll put it in C for now. Let me get that in the square. Tropico 6. I do consider this to be one of the top 8 city builders of all time, but which Tropico ranks higher is contentious. So I will go ahead and pop this here first, but there's Tropico 5, which is probably, I don't know, people have been sort of wondering about Tropico 5, whether it's better or not. I'll keep it up here. Tropico 4, also considered very, very good. Tropico 3, considered not as good as Tropico 4. So maybe it's like a high A. So I'll just pop it there first. Tropico 2, I have not played very much at all. But people really like the pirate stuff. I don't know whether it counts as S tier. I'll put it near the high top of A. People really like it though. Tropico 1. This graphic does say reloaded. Tropico 1, I would say it's also A tier. Like, the Tropicos generally rank pretty similarly to each other. Is S tier must-play games? I'm not making any particular claims like that you have to play these games. It's just, I'm ranking what I think is better than the others, but remember, all of these are good games. If Utopia, the Creation of the Nation, is your kind of game, that would be a must-play game, but it's not what I would rank up here. Tlatoani. This is an indie kind of city builder, inspired by the Impressions games, but it is quite indie. I would put it down here in C for now, and remember, C means quite good. Tlatoani felt really unfinished. Yeah, it's pretty indie, so I'm gonna put it here for now, but we'll see where the rest goes. Timberborn, one of the best city builders of all time. It's going up there. For full transparency, Timberborn has sponsored me in the past. It was quite a while ago, but just saying, I just wish it released. Thriving City Song. I didn't quite like how this one turned out. It's fine. It's still good. Remember, none of these are bad, but I'll put it down here for now. Theotown. Surprising, because this is kind of a mobile city builder, but it is the best mobile city builder. I can quite confidently say that. And it came to PC, and it kind of plays like a city builder with Roller Coaster Tycoon kind of mechanics. I would say it's pretty good. I'll put it at the bottom of S tier for now, but it might be an A tier, but it is definitely up there. It is surprisingly good. The First Explorers also not really released yet, so I'm gonna put it down here with Whiskerwood. It might turn out good. It's kind of a Settlers-esque kind of game, where it is half RTS, half city builder, but we'll see how that goes. The Colonists. It's Settlers-esque, but kind of turned out a little... I don't want to say plain, but it felt a little straightforward. So I'll put it down here for now. Synergy, I think also not fully released. It is Impressions inspired, but sci-fi. It looks good, but also I think we've seen quite a lot of gameplay of this. It might be C tier, but I'm not committing to that. Surviving Mars. This one is definitely one of the most popular city builders out there. It didn't quite make my list for the top 8, but it is definitely up here, so I'll just put it up here in S tier. Surviving the Aftermath. I think it's quite good, but not quite as popular as Surviving Mars, not quite as refined, I think, but it is the post-apocalyptic kind of thing. I'll put it high A for now. Sumerians. I didn't quite like how this one fully turned out as well. It felt quite unfinished. I'll put it down here with Tlatoani. SteamWorld Build. This is very popular. I have minimal experience with it, but it is very popular. It's relatively new. Last year or so, I think it released. Zeke Farmer, thank you so much. I don't know whether it would count as S tier. I will put it in A for now. Get in there, get in there. Oh, see, using my own graphics here. The Simpsons Tapped Out. When you look at mobile city builders, The Simpsons Tapped Out always shows up, and as far as I know, it's been taken off the store pages. It's no longer available, but for a mobile city builder, it was considered in the top 5 mobile city builders. And it's weird that it's a Simpsons game, but it is. Like, if you look into mobile city builders, The Simpsons Tapped Out always shows up. But overall, it's probably not the best city builder. So I will put it down here because it didn't come to PC. It's not like Theotown where it was a mobile city builder and they made it made it a PC game as well. They ported it to PC and it's still solid. I'll keep it down here. I don't know. Maybe it's still down here. Maybe it's in D. It sounds like a crap attempt to use the Simpsons name on something mobile. I mean, probably, yeah. But you know how sometimes shovelware turns out to be good? Yeah, they probably had to pay royalties to the owners. Yeah, so it just expired. But, you know, it's like the Simpsons Hit and Run. Sometimes these knockoff licensed IPs, they actually work. So Simpsons Tapped Out does come up. It's in the top 5 mobile city builders. Along with SimCity Societies, which I think was also fine, but also I think no longer available as well. I'll put those two together for now. Oh, SimCity Social, I forgot about this one. Sorry, SimCity Societies was probably a little bit better. SimCity Social, it's also down there. There's a reason why these games aren't available anymore. It's still, like, remember, this is the top 100. You gotta be, like, really kind of down there. Like, in the E, F, G tiers to not be here. Which is sad that the video game history just disappears. Yeah, I mean, video game preservation is a thing. SimCity Social is in top 100. Look, it's like when I do my top 8 RTS of all time, or top 8 city builders of all time. They're like, oh, what game, how can you not mention this other game? And I'm like, which one of the 8 would you kick out to make room for that? Because it's a top 8. You gotta kick something out to put something in. And then 9 out of 10 times I ask that question, people stop responding. SimCity Social is in top 100. I mean, it can mean that there are 99 city builders better than that. It is in D tier, which again, not absolute terrible, but there's 4 ranks above D tier. Like, each one of these rows is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 22 in each one, so 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 88 games above D tier. That's a lot of games, okay? SimCity 5, which it did get better. They did fix a lot of the problems. They took away the always online requirements. They expanded city limits. There was actually an expansion, but past that, it died pretty quick. So I'm gonna put it there for now. The original SimCity. It's an originator, but it's not a good game today. I'll just put it for honorary position. I'll put it there for now, but it's not a good game today. It invented the genre. That's why it's here. But it's fine, I guess, if you play it like a little indie thing today. But besides historical curiosity, there's not much reason to play the original SimCity. Zeus Poseidon, S tier. I mean, I'm putting it there for now, but of the Impressions games, of the main 4 Impressions games, I do put it as the last one. I would rank Caesar 3, Pharaoh, and Emperor above Zeus and Poseidon. Settlements Rising, I think I did play some of this. It was okay, kind of a banished-esque kind of game. I'll put it here for now. SimCity 4, yeah, it's top tier. One of my top 8 city builders of all time, so it goes there. SimCity 3000. Like, it is good, but would it fall into S or A? For now, I'll put it in S. SimCity 2000, my personal favorite, my first SimCity that I played, it's got problems. It's still got problems. I would rank it still above SimCity 5, but I'm not sure how good it is, so I'll put it there. Once we put everything together. So many SimCities, I mean, yeah. Roman Triumph, for full transparency, they have sponsored me in the past. So I will put this... I mean, it's still going through early access, so I'll put it in the middle for now. Oh, this. So this game is not even really a city builder. Pre-dynastic Egypt, or this thing. It's kind of like just a map placement kind of indie thing. And the reason why it's here is because I've been working on this list of the best city builder every year. Like the best one of the year every year since the original SimCity. And there are a couple years where there weren't any city builders. And the year this released, it's the closest I could find to a city builder. And I forget which year this was, 2014, 2016, I can't remember exactly the year, but the year Pre-Dynastic Egypt released, it is the closest thing to a city builder in that year. Nothing else released. So it's not even really a city builder. I'm just gonna put it right here behind me. But it's there because for that year, it was the only one. Pompeii the Legacy, it's still on the way, so I'm gonna put it down here with these other ones. It looks promising, but these are all down here in the bottom middle. They're all like on the way. Pocket City. I actually really like Pocket City. It's a mobile city builder. Not as complex or detailed as Theotown, but surprisingly good. What's the Egypt name behind you? Yeah, it's a pre-dynastic Egypt. It's not even really a city builder. So it's not saying that it's a terrible game being at the bottom here. It's just it barely qualifies as the genre. Yeah, personally, I probably would say it doesn't, but for the year it released, there was no other city builder, so it's there as like an honorary mention for being the closest thing to a city builder released in that year. Pocket City, I actually did really like. Not as good as Theotown. It's not like the most complex city builder. I would rank it about there, actually. Like, SimCity 2000 is better than Pocket City for sure. Pioneers of Pagonia, it is still in early access, but it has been developing quite a lot. For now, I'll put it there. We're gonna have to shift these around as the slots fill up. It's the guy that plays all the city builders from YouTube. I mean, I have not played all of them, but Pharaoh, A New Era. For full transparency, they also sponsored one video from me. I think I would have to rank this... I'm gonna put it as a low A for now. The mods from the community definitely help it. Pharaoh Cleopatra. Now this is gonna be up here. It is a top 10 for sure, so I'll put it there first. The only reason why it doesn't rank higher than Caesar 3 is because Caesar 3 has Julius and Augustus. Per Aspera. This one was okay. Not fully a city builder either. Like, it kind of is. It was not bad. Like, maybe a high B for now. We'll see that. Pax Augusta, I think they just released a demo. It's looking promising. I'll put down here with the other upcoming ones. Patron. This one was okay, kind of Banished-esque. I'll put it above Settlements Rising. Like, a lot of these down here are going to be Banished-esque games. Outpost. This is not a great game. This is not a great game. Would I put it... like... Outpost 1. Would I rank it above the original SimCity? It's got some vibes, but probably not above the original SimCity. So I think what I have to do is I have to grab these and move them over. And I'll squeeze it in there. Nope. Damn it. Hold on. I gotta... See, this is the problem with using my own graphic. There we go. I'll put it there below the original SimCity. Ostriv. Ostriv is always talked about for very good reasons. They have not finished. The problem is it's been in alpha for 10 years. So I'll probably put it above Patron, but I can't justify it being much higher right now. Will this full tier list be on YouTube? Yeah, I think this will be a YouTube video. Nova Roma. It's also an upcoming one. I think I will guess that it would be below these other upcoming ones, but it is from the creators of Kingdoms and Castles, so it is very, very much anticipated. And for a long time, it might still be, it is in the top 3 most wish-listed city builders, upcoming city builders. So Nova Roma, lots of hype for it. Probably will be big, but I'm not sure if it'll rank higher than the other upcoming ones. Remember, the bottom middle right now are the upcoming ones, but I wanted to note them there. New Cycle. This was another post-apocalyptic survival city builder. I think it turned out okay. I'll put it here for now. Nebuchadnezzar. We all remember this one. I created mods, like graphics mods for Nebuchadnezzar. It's an impression-style city builder. It was a bit weird on launch. It got better. It got an expansion. Turned out okay. I think I would still rank it below Pharaoh A New Era. But we'll see where that ends up. Moonbase, not a good game. But this is the second ever city builder. The second ever city builder. Right after the original SimCity, Moonbase came out, it was the second ever city builder. It is not as good as Utopia, so I got the spot right here behind me. I know I'm blocking it, but it's right there behind me between Utopia and pre-dynastic Egypt. The ones down here, they're not terrible for when they released, but in the context of today, you only play them for historical curiosity, nothing else. Metropolis 1998, I am personally very curious about this, but I don't think it's going to rank higher than these other ones. But it seems very interesting because of how it works. You might not consider it a full-on city builder, so I'll put it down there. Memoriapolis, this one turned out quite popular. But it's also it's one of those new genre-bending ones where it's a city builder, but it's like a grand city builder. You know how there's like strategy games and then there's grand strategy games? Memoriapolis is like a grand city builder. I'll put it just beneath Pioneers of Pagonia right now. Medieval Lords, Build, Defend, Expand. I didn't play this one, but I have like researched it, and a lot of people mention it. And I think it looked fine for the time, but it does look quite dated these days. So I will probably put it somewhere down here. It's probably still ranking higher than Tlatloani, Sumerians, Pocket City. It's probably still ranking higher than that. I'm probably gonna put Synergy above this as well. Like, one of the surprising ones in terms of reception here is Urbeck. I did not think Urbeck would be that popular, but it is. So that's why it's there. But also it's not quite a city builder. How is SimCity 4 above OG Pharaoh? I think it... We'll see how that goes. Mana Lords, this one, yeah, it is top tier. It wasn't in the top 8 because it hasn't technically fully released yet, but it might be releasing this year. So I'll put it there first. This top one, we're gonna have to tweak the arrangements after this, no worries. Lethis Path of Progress. I wish I could rate this higher. I wish I could. But they lost access to the code. Gotta rearrange some stuff down here. Synergy is probably gonna rank higher than Lethis. Pocket Cities, mobile games. I'm gonna grab these 4. I'm just gonna move them down for now, a row. And I'll put Lethis here just past Synergy. They lost access to their own game. Yep. How do you lose access to your code? The coder quit. I don't know the exact details. But after release, the person who made the code quit. Or something like that. And they didn't have access to the code. They started planning Lethis 2. And I actually loved the way Lethis 2 looked. It looked like a Ghibli city builder. It looked fantastic. Then the company was hired to do Pharaoh: A New Era, which I think obviously you would prioritize that. But that happened through the pandemic, so that faced some complications. I do hope Triskel comes back and makes Lethis 2, because it looked so good. Is that released Nebuchadnezzar a patched, improved Neb? All of this is in the context of today. So for example, Utopia: The Creation of a Nation, at one point, was the second best city builder to ever exist. Because it was the third city builder to ever exist, and it was better than Moonbase. SimCity used to be the best city builder in the world because it was the only city builder in the world. Was Lethis that Prussian World War I game? I don't know if it was officially Prussian. It was vaguely European steampunk. So it vibed Prussian. Like, if you said it was Prussian, I wouldn't argue, but I don't know whether it's like officially Prussian. Where's Settlers 4? Settlers is not a city builder, generally speaking. We'll get into that a little bit later. Settlers 1 and 2 are definitely not city builders. 3 and 4, maybe. There are houses. There are houses in Settlers 3 and 4. Settlers 5 onwards, pretty sure it leans RTS more than anything. So Settlers 3 and 4... I struggle to consider Settlers a city builder because, generally speaking, here's my experience. Anyone who insists Settlers 3 or 4 is a city builder does not consider other games like Settlers 3 and 4 to be city builders. Like, quite often people would say Settlers 4 is definitely a city builder, but Against the Storm isn't. And I'm like, how are you defining city builder here? So we might have Settlers as like an honorary mention. You know, so many people say Anno is not a city builder. It's a logistics management game. And I'm like, well, I mean, it is a logistics management game. So when it comes to the definition of the genre, I say pure city builder here. No. I'm not saying pure city builder here. This is a top 100 plus. The top 8 is pure city builder. There's some leeway. So I'll see if I start to lean on Settlers 3 and 4 being here. I think Settlers 4 is considered better than Settlers 3, but we'll see. Leysara Summit Kingdom, I think it's not fully released, but people have been enjoying the early access demo, something like that. I vibe with it somewhere around here. It's probably not above per Aspera, but it's probably somewhere around here. Land of the Vikings. This one was okay. I'll put it right in the middle for now. Knights and Merchants. People hype Knights and Merchants, I think, too much. It's good, but I think Knights and Merchants is, forgive me for saying, slightly overrated. But Cam Remake, a fan-made re-implementation of the game, does make it a lot better. I have played it. It's okay, but people hype it up too much. I would say I'll put it here for now. Because of the Cam remake. I've played all of these. I've played almost all of these. And I haven't finished all of these. Like, I've not, like, played each one for 100 hours. I just know a lot about city builders. Kingdoms Reborn. Surprisingly, this one took off. I was not really expecting it to. It sort of feels like a Banished game, but with multiplayer. And it worked surprisingly well, and it became quite popular. I would say it's somewhere around here. Would I put it above? I think I put it above because of its popularity. I think it's... it is actually quite popular. I'll put it ahead of Per Aspera for now. Kingdoms and Castles. So I did mention Nova Roma was from the developers of Kingdoms and Castles. It is very popular, but also it's not quite the traditional kind of city builder. So I will... But it is like surprisingly popular. I'll put it here behind Nebuchadnezzar for now. By the way, your opinions in chat and your opinions on YouTube comments will affect the final ranking of this video. Final ranking of this list. I will take into account. Waiting for Whiskerwood. Yeah, the ones down here at the bottom middle, they're upcoming games that show a lot of promise. So you see Pax Augusta, Pompeii the Legacy, The First Explorers, Whiskerwood, Nova Roma, Metropolis in 1998. These are all showing a lot of promise, but they're not out yet. You can just tell me how to order the list. You can tell me, but it doesn't mean I'll listen. You gotta make a case. You gotta make a case, right? You gotta think about it. Kaiserpunk. They did, full transparency, they did sponsor me for one video. It's been played, well, I've played quite a bit of it. There's been some demos. I think it's releasing soon. It's also got this grand city builder kind of thing going on. There's a lot of promise. I would say it's somewhere around here. I put it between Leysara and New Cycle for now. Get in there. By the way, do y'all like my graphic? I made this because I looked at the website for ranking things which everyone uses, and it's like there's too much fluff there. Nebuchadnezzar is here. It's there behind Pharaoh, A New Era for now. Ixion. I mean, people do like it, but I think it would rank somewhere around here as well. Would I put it above New Cycle or below New Cycle? I'm vibing with it somewhere around here. I think people generally like it more than New Cycle, so I will squeeze it in here. So I'll pop it in there next to Kaiserpunk. Infraspace. This one is a pretty indie thing. It turned out okay, but I don't think it's like particularly. It's not as compelling as I wanted it to be. I'll put it down here next to Lethis. Imperium Romanum. Now keep in mind, this company, Haemimont Games, made Imperium Romanum, and this is not the best one they made. It's pretty good, but basically another game they made is just better in every way. So the purpose of Imperium Romanum existing is diminished. So we have to take that into account, where although Imperium Romanum might be, for example, a better game than Knights and Merchants, there's no point playing this because the same company made a better game that's just better in every way. So its purpose is gone. So I will put it here. Hearthlands. This was an interesting one. It's an impression-styled city builder with smart walkers in a fantasy setting, and there is RTS military. It's a bit of a cartoony approach to things, but it was actually kind of solid. I would put it here. Without the Cam remake, I would put Hearthlands ahead of it. But with the Cam remake, so considering the fan-made re-implementation, I would put it like that. Here's Grand Ages Rome, which is Imperium Romanum, just better in every way. This is probably S tier. I don't know if it's better than those, though. It's definitely better than Theotown. So Grand Ages Rome is the best 3D ancient Roman city builder from the early 2000s. The late early 2000s? The noughties. The late noughties is... I hate referencing that decade like that, but... So of like Caesar 4, Imperium Romanum, there was another one Haemimont made. Haemimont made 3. And then Grand Ages Rome. Grand Ages Rome is better than Caesar 4. So it's going up there. We'll see if stuff squishes it down. Frostpunk 2. Some don't even consider this a city builder. It's like a society management simulator. Its reception was a little mixed, but I think it's still gonna fall into S tier. But I don't know if I'll put it above these. So I'm just gonna grab these and squeeze these up. I think it still would fall under S tier. Frostpunk 1, it's one of the best city builders of all time, so we'll put that there. Foundation has actually fully released. Now, they did sponsor me for a few videos a couple years ago, but this Foundation has been coming for a long, long time. I don't think it's better than Manor Lords. I'll put it there for now. I personally would still play Pharaoh Cleopatra over Foundation, but it's S tier. Flotsam, indie thing, turned out okay. I feel like it goes with these. There was a time when all of these were upcoming. I would put it above Lethis because Lethis was clearly unfinished and they lost access to their code, so they couldn't technically finish it, so I'll put it there first. Something's not quite aligned here. There, okay. Farthest Frontier. Yeah, people like this. Would you say Farthest Frontier is better than Foundation or not? It's pretty solid. It's like Manor Lords adjacent, but a bit more Banished-like. I'll put it there for now. It's an edge case there. The Patrician series, I think I am currently, if you ask me today, I would say Patrician series does not count as city builders, but the consensus of what is the genre shifts over time. Is there a full list of all of these games? I mean, once they're all on the screen, there will be. Farthest Frontier is kind of buggy. So I'll say Foundation is still ahead of Farthest Frontier for now. But it's a medieval city builder. Manor-Lord's Foundation, Farthest Frontier, they all sort of vibe like that. Do I like the idea of moving city builder? I think the moving city builder idea is one of the best innovations for the city builder genre. Not every game needs to be like that, but I think it was a nice twist. Kind of like Banished introducing survival mechanics and the survival city builder becoming a thing. I think that was one of the best innovations. Moving city builder, I think also good. There's been quite a lot of them. Wandering Village is probably the most popular one of the moving city builders. There was a number of others. I'm trying to remember. Dream Engines, Nomad Cities, kind of. There was a whole bunch. The Sky one. There was one where you're flying through the sky. Airborne Empire, Airborne Kingdom. They just came out with a sequel. There's also a sci-fi survival city builder on a moving platform. Do I enjoy city builders more if they have a campaign instead of sandbox replay? I personally, it doesn't have to be a campaign, but it's got to have a story. Without a story, it can feel a bit tricky. Like, Timberborn doesn't really have a story, but its gameplay is so solid. I personally prefer it something like Frostpunk, where it does have a story. It should have a sandbox mode, for sure. You should be able to not care about the story. Fabledom, it's still upcoming. With these other upcoming ones down here, I would probably... like, my personal interest on these would shift this over. I may reconsider this later, but for now, it's joining the other upcoming ones down there. End Zone 2. We were sponsored for this, but it had some problems on launch. It's still going through early access, I think it is. So I will pop it down here with these other similar-ish games, like maybe here. Slightly ahead of Roman Triumph for now. Like, I thought it was fine, but compared to End Zone 1, End Zone 1, here we go. End Zone 1 is very solid. I'm putting it up here. So it's sometimes, it's not so much that a game is bad, but there's a game compared to maybe the first game in the series, and the comparison brings it down. Like, if End Zone 2 released without End Zone 1 existing, people would think better of End Zone 2. So it's like Cities Skylines and City Skylines 2. It might just need time to boost it up, and maybe at the end of the day, it'll be better, but... Emperor, Rise of the Middle Kingdom. Now, I do rank this below Pharaoh. The military is kind of annoying in Emperor. And it did end up pretty bugged. So I will put it high, but I'll put it behind End Zone. Because right now, Pharaoh is there, and Pharaoh is significantly better than Emperor. Earth of Orin is also another upcoming one. It's interesting. I will, just vibes-wise, I'd put it ahead of Whiskerwood because it feels a little bit more original. Whiskerwood is very much like Timberborn. Dream Engine's Nomad Cities. It turned out okay. I would put it above Flotsam. Now, keep in mind when it comes to the Impressions games, I am incredibly familiar. Like Pharaoh Cleopatra, the military balance on very hard difficulty, and the Walker glitches pulls its ranking down a little bit. And people tend to forget that or ignore those points. Fabledom is out since a long time. Am I thinking of a different game? I might be thinking of a different game. Oh, Fabledom's the one that already released. Sorry. I'm thinking of... There's an upcoming fantasy city builder. It's not Fabledom. Yeah, you're right. Fabledom did release. I was thinking of the other game, which I think is in my stack up there. I'll try and remember which one it is, not Fabledom. I'm thinking of the upcoming one. Dice Legacy. Not really. I mean, it's kind of a city builder, more of a dice-ish game. Weirdly, there is Dice Kingdoms as well. Dice Legacy was okay. But it's like a better game than these. But I'm not sure if it would count as a city builder, so I would put it here for now. Dice Kingdoms, I actually don't know too much about. I'll have to come back and check that. Let me just have a quick look at the status of. I don't fully know every single game in existence. Okay, that's impossible. I'm doing this live as well. So Dice Kingdoms. Yeah, it did release in April 2024. This one. Yes, okay. I'm remembering my research now. This one. Dice Kingdoms, I would rank a little bit away from Dice Legacy. Dice Legacy is, I did find to be... I mean, Dice Kingdoms is maybe a bit more of a city builder than Dice Legacy, but Dice Legacy felt like a better game. Constructor. Do you consider this a city builder? This is from, I think it actually says that, 1997. So this is another one where it's like... When I was researching the best city builder every year since SimCity 1, 1997, there weren't any full-on city builders. 96, yes. 98, yes. Caesar 3 is 98. 97, this is the closest you could get to a city builder, and you're technically constructing a city, but also it's very dated now and maybe not really a city builder, so I'll put it down here. I don't even know if I'd rank it above Utopia, honestly. Utopia was pretty solid, and it is most definitely a city builder. I'd actually put Constructor, because it might not really count as a city builder. I'll put it there. Utopia surprised me. For a game, for the third ever city builder, Utopia still surprised me. So I'll put it there. Tropico 4, 5, 6 over 1, 2 seems backwards. Well, I've especially the top, I have not finished ordering. You don't want to be like ordering things particularly like that. Tropico 6, I am ranking higher because it just, like, it is popular. It is the most popular one. And that might not mean it's the best one, but it is the most approachable one. I consider 6 better than 5. Tropico 4 might rank, like, it might make sense to swap 4 and 5 here. Tropico 1, I feel it's nice going back. But actually, I don't know if I would rank it so highly today, because it is, I would say Tropico 1 is... Like, Tropico 1 is nice to go back to, but honestly, I would probably put it with SimCity 2000. Like, if I were to play city builders from around that time, vibing with the quality, I would probably do those. Like, if SimCity 2000 got like a modern engine reimplementation, it would rank higher because its engine really holds it back. Tropico 2 Pirate Cove, I know, is a fan favorite of many. Tropico 3, I think I would actually drop it down. Not so much because it's a worse game, but because it's like with Imperium Romanum, its purpose of existing is sort of trumped by Tropico 4 existing. So it's like, Tropico 4 exists. Why would you play Tropico 3? I mean, of course, Tropico 3 is going to be some of your favorites, but in terms of ranking this stuff, Cliff Empire had a nice... My favorite thing about Cliff Empire is one of the camera modes. The game itself turned out okay, but it had a camera mode which took a 3D environment and made it isometric, and I have not seen any other game do that. So that makes me want to rank it higher, but it does lack a bit on some of the gameplay, and also the visuals were kind of weird anyway. It did have an upgrade. I think I would rank it somewhere around here. Civ City Rome. This is the one I was forgetting from earlier. This one is weird. Civ City Rome is Sid Meier combining with sorry, there's a lot of information. Civ City Rome was Sid Meier collaborating like civilization stuff into a city builder, and it was developed by name is escaping me. Hold on. Civ City Rome. Firefly. Yes, Firefly Studios. So Firefly Studios does Stronghold. Sid Meier does Civilization. They decided to make Civ City Rome. There is a tech tree where you research bronze working and all of that good stuff. It's kind of buggy. It kind of messed up somewhat. Also, its purpose for existing is diminished by the better games. It was still fun though, and it has some interesting things. I'd put it over there with my other old ones. I feel like Civ City Rome has more purpose of existing than Imperium Romanum, because Civ City Rome is just kind of weird. So many games left. Seems like developers love naming their game something that starts with A, B, or C. Yeah, I mean, the stack up there is just because I named all the image files by the game names, and then when I dumped the stack on, it started reverse order. So like the last one appears on top. So that's why we started with Zeus. Cities XL. Cities Skylines kind of means this doesn't have much reason to exist anymore. I'll put it down there with Imperium Romanum. City Skylines 2 could be good. It is still technically the second most played city builder in the world. And I think it's gotten quite a few updates. I'm not sure if it's there yet. City Skylines, it's gonna be a top 8, obviously. Cities in Motion 2, also, its purpose of existing is diminished. Cities XL out of existence, please. I can put it beneath SimCity Social. Which one do you hate more? Like, keep in mind the other games here. Like, I guess Pocket City does have more reason to exist. You know what? I will move City Skylines 1 above City Skylines 2. Yes. For now. Let's move this up. And we'll put that there. Okay? Cities in Motion 2 is basically the precursor to City Skylines. City Skylines 2 is not finished yet. Cities in Motion 1, you know what? I don't know how to rank 1 and 2. Like, which would be considered better. I would just put 2 above 1. But again, like, these games here, their purpose for existing is diminished. Citadellum, we were sponsored to cover this. It is... I'd probably put it like... I was surprised they actually got actual military working, so I would put it there. Children of the Nile. I know many of y'all love this game. I did not like this game when it released. because what it offered was unclear. What Children of the Nile offers is an actual social simulation for your population. But it's kind of rough. It's kind of rough. I would, for now, put it above Civ City Rome. Yes, I would put it above Civ City Rome. It's pretty unique, but it can be very grindy. Yeah, like it's more historically accurate. You don't pay money to people, you paid people in bread. So you had to farm bread so you could pay people. Can't believe Zach would do this in my first city builder game. Look, my first city builder is... no, actually I played Sim Town before SimCity 2000. My first city builder... What year was Outpost? Because my first city builder would probably either be Sim Town or Outpost. Or SimCity 2000. Because I kind of got those all around the same time. But none of them are ranking up there. Watch me put Caesar 4 over OG Pharaoh. Ah, it's an S tier, yeah! No, it is not. It has more purpose of existing than Imperium Romanum. I would say it is generally better than Children of the Nile. But I wouldn't say it's better than these. It's buggy, there's performance issues. It looks dated. I would say Caesar 4 was better than Children of the Nile, but the first 10 missions are bad. If you're playing the campaign, the first 10 missions in Caesar 4 are bad. The maps are too small. The invasions don't matter. Once you reach the end of the first campaign, Caesar 4 gets much better. The tutorial is the worst part of Caesar 4, and it's why I didn't like Caesar 4 as a kid when I released, because I played the tutorial and I was like, this game kind of sucks. I played the first few missions, it's still sucking. But I have finished a playthrough of Caesar 4 now on the channel, and it got much better around mission 10, when the maps finally got big, the invasion started mattering, and all the stuff becomes available. So Caesar 4 gets better as it goes along. So I would put it slightly above Children of the Nile. Caesar 3... I haven't left enough space here. Because of Augustus, I will rank it slightly higher than Pharaoh, because Pharaoh has some pretty annoying bugs. What I call the dancer glitch, but what's actually like the walker glitch. Walkers spawning everywhere. Now I do need to rearrange this somewhat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think being objective, I have to put Mana Lords above Caesar 3. But also I think Mana Lords is better than Tropico 6. With Augustus, I would put Caesar 3 above Tropico 6. With Augustus, not Vanilla Caesar 3. Vanilla Caesar 3, I would put it below Pharaoh. But with Augustus, and if you don't think Caesar 3 with Augustus is better than Pharaoh, check back in 2 years, because Augustus will be better. Timberborn, is that good? It is pretty good. It's pretty good. Surprisingly, you'd think it wasn't. It's been in early access for like 4 or 5 years now, and I feel like it could have released already. You didn't find Mana Lords good? I mean, if I'm being personal, I don't even really like City Skylines. I have to be somewhat objective. Caesar 2. actually not bad today. Season 2 still not bad. I would rank it. It's not as good as SimCity 2000. I think I have to make a little bit of room here. It is better than... being objective, is it better than... I would say it's better than Infraspace. I would say it's better than Lethis. I would say it's better than Flotsam and Dream Engines. But then again, the campaign, like once you play like 3 missions, you kind of learn everything. Why play Season 2 when you have all the new Impression games? Because Season 2 is just a different game. You have an interactive world map, you have Total War style battles on the world map on separate battlefields, but there's some weirdness to it because of the age it was made. It's not just... Caesar 3 is not just an improved Caesar 2. Caesar 2 and Caesar 3 are completely different games. I don't think I can justify it being better than these. Some of these are down here not because they're worse games, but because their purpose for existing is gone. Would I rank Caesar 2 above Lethis? Let me move this back over. I think being objective, Flotsam would still be a better game. Lethis is where things get a little bit messed up. I think I would put it there. Just where I'm feeling like it should go right now. Caesar 1 is bad. Caesar 1 does not age well. I would actually rank it below... Why did I put the colonist down? Oh, I put the colonist down there because it might not really count as a city builder. Yeah, no, this. I would still put Caesar 1 above these because not to say anything past Caesar is bad, or worse. It's just there's context that puts some of these down there. Is it even playable now? I mean, it's on GOG, so yeah. Beyond These Stars, pretty solid game. It kind of goes with these other ones. I mean, it's pretty solid, now that I'm thinking about it. You know what? I might actually put it slightly past... I mean, I kind of liked it. I don't know if I can justify it being ahead of these. Wait, no, this is the new one. I'm not too sure about this new one. I'm thinking about Before We Leave. You know what? I might put it here because I kind of like that. Beyond These Stars, I'm actually not too sure because it's not out yet. So I'm gonna put it down here because it's not out yet. It's not out yet, right? I've not played it. Beyond These Stars. It hasn't released yet. It's this year? Beyond These Stars. Yeah, it's not out yet. Scheduled for this year. Okay, Banished. So Banished is where city builders started to be revived. It's still a solid game, but development ended a long time ago. There are just better survival city builders these days. I don't know if Tropico 2 can be justified as being this high, considering these other games. I know people like it, but I think I gotta move it down. Banished? I think I gotta put it here. Because Banished can get pretty plain, but its significance is high. People still like it. Mods are still going. Avon Colony, I didn't really like. It was kind of cool, but I would probably still put it above Caesar 2, though. I think, yeah, the C band has filled up. I gotta shift some things around. I'm gonna go ahead and move this row over to the right to make room here. And then Avon Colony. It was not that great, but it is probably still better than no, Season 2 is actually kind of solid still. I'd probably put it above Infraspace, which means I have to move Cities XL down. Which means I gotta move these over. That feels about right. So now it's going to be the Anno games. 2205. Fun fact, all the numbers always add up to 9. 2205 I don't have a lot of experience with, but I think these sci-fi ones people generally were a bit about it. They're probably still better than some of these. Alright, I'm going to have to remove at least one from S tier to make room for one Anno. So I think Anno games would still rank above these. So Heartlands goes there. In there. I think they would be the sci-fi ones at least. Would be below End Zone 2, because I think End Zone 2 is... It's still being improved, but I think it will turn out better. So Anno 2070 would which one is hated more? Which one's hated more? I might just check the review scores. People generally don't like either of them. Let me just check. I mean, that again, none of these games are bad. It's just so Anno 2205. What the Steam say? Overall rating is 69% for 2205. 2070. Anno 2070, Steam says 59%. 2070 is considered worse. So we're gonna put them there past End Zone 2. Again, we're trying to be objective here. I know, like, sometimes Steam reviews would rank something higher than others. Like, for example, Caesar 2 would get like 90% positive rating on Steam, right? But that doesn't mean Caesar 2 is a better game than a modern game that releases, because standards are different. People, when they write reviews, take that into account. It's like, oh, this game is from 1992? Yeah, of course I'm gonna recommend it, because it's like $1 to buy, or $3 to buy. It was made in 1992 and it's still kind of fun. So yeah, positive review. Meanwhile, this other game, it's like $20 made 5 years ago. It should be way better than this. Negative review, but it doesn't mean the first game is better than the second game. So you can't just take user reviews. I just use user reviews to determine which one was above the other. Anno 1800 is probably one of the best if not the best city builder of all time at the time of recording, which means I probably have to shift Theotown down. So I'm gonna pop Theotown down. And does this order still make sense? I think generally. So I'm gonna have to move this row over to the right. And then Farthest Frontier comes down here. I know this is a bit fiddly, but I preferred just having my own system here. Like, I would say Anno 1800 is above City Skylines. Anno 1701 is also a bit of an enigma for me. I didn't play these Anno games so much. There's Anno 1602, 1503, 1404 I consider quite good though. It's definitely better than Grand Ages Rome. Would it be better than these? Is Anno 1404 better than Tropico 4? I would probably say yes. Is it better than Zeus and Poseidon? I think this is where I start to struggle with it. Yeah, Grand Ages Rome gets pushed down. I wasn't thinking it'd be a S tier game, with everything considered, but better than Foundation. Foundation is pretty popular. Because also keep in mind, the purpose of Anno 1404 diminishes because of 1800. I know they are different centuries by about 400 years, but Anno 1800 feels like 1404, but better in every way. Would I rank, like, Zeus and Poseidon feels like there is more purpose for it existing. It is still really good though. Now these three, I'm just gonna clump them together because no one really talks about these three anymore. I mean, if you started with them, sure. Which one's considered better? Again, I think I'll just compare Steam scores, but again, Steam scores for these things would not really make too much sense these days. So 1503, people don't really like it. 66%. 1602. Like, the purpose of these is a bit like, why would you play these? Outside of this one's 70%. 1701. The history collection of this. Like, see, they released a history collection of this last year, and it's got 91 user reviews. It's like, so it's 80% positive, but generally, if we're just taking the percentages, this one, they rank in this order, but like, people just generally don't play them all that much. So actually, they probably shouldn't even be higher than these. Like, they definitely rank higher than these. People really don't like these. I think I have to... I might just put them all together, because it's like, no one plays these. Let's move these two down to here. Yeah, then this one's gonna end up here. This one's gonna end up here. And then you have these three just ending up there. Like, all these older Anno games just kind of clump together because It's not so much that they're all equal or anything like that. It's just... It feels like these Anno games are better than these other older games. These 3 Anno games are definitely better than the sci-fi ones, but again, like, why would you play 1701, 1602, 1503 when you have 1404, which is solid, and 1800? Right? These other games, like, even like Kingdoms Reborn, New Cycle, you could argue that 1701 is better than New Cycle, but New Cycle at least provides something slightly different. Ixion provides something slightly different. Kaiserpunks provides something slightly different. So I think that's fine. Anno 117 Pax Romana, we don't know how it's going to be, so it's going to have to go down here with probably the best upcoming one. But it is upcoming and we haven't even seen any gameplay yet, so it would probably rank pretty high, is my guess, but it's going right behind me there for now. Airborne Kingdom, this is the new one. No, it's the old one. It was okay, interesting idea. So now that the list is getting a bit crowded, we do have to adjust some things. Airborne Kingdom was all right, but it did start to feel a little... It's better than that. It felt a little bland, and Airborne Empire probably just slightly better than Airborne Kingdom, so I think I would put these two together. It does serve a little bit more purpose in existing, but I don't think I can rank it higher than Endzone 2, so I think I have to make 2 spots here. So, see, now we gotta start pushing some things up to make room. So these two are gonna be pushed up into the next tier. Then these get pushed over to the side here, getting pushed up, so that we can put Airborne Kingdom here. Airborne Empire, it is upcoming, but I think we've had quite a good look at it. Is it upcoming or no, this one's already released, sorry. Airborne Empire has released, just to make sure. It did release, yeah, and I think it's in early access, but very positive user reviews. 92% higher than I thought it was. And I think it is just better than Airborne Kingdom in every way. Against the Storm, I forgot. We're gonna have to push something down. Against the Storm is one of the best top 8, definitely top 10. A lot of people like to say Against the Storm is not a city builder. I would say it ranks higher than Mana Lords. But a lot of people do argue it's not even a city builder, but I consider it one. So I'm gonna have to push these over to the right. And is that aligned? Oh, there we go. We're gonna move SimCity 3000 down. Against the Storm is gonna go there, which means I have to move all of these over to the right. That to here. Move Foundation down. I would rank it above. Because one thing Against the Storm did was there are a lot of people who are saying that they either have never played city builders or they just were not enjoying any city builder coming out until Against the Storm. Afterlife, it's another old one from the 90s, and it's the last one we've got. I've dabbled a bit. I do want to play more of it. It's not great. It is kind of interesting, but I don't think I can rank it much higher. It's definitely better than Caesar. I'm gonna have to push Why is Caesar 3 ahead of Pharaoh? Because of Augustus. Because of Augustus. Otherwise, Pharaoh would be higher. So I just have to squeeze Afterlife in somewhere here. It's one of those old ones. It is still a city builder. But it doesn't age that well, so I would put it... You know, probably between Outpost and Caesar, which means I have to shift a number of things around here. So first of all, I'm shifting all this to the left. Is this feeling right? With the mods coming in... I might rank... I might rank this... Deselect it, please. I might rank this above Tropico 2. Because the mods do continue to improve Pharaoh a New Era. And then I can move these over here. Nebuchadnezzar is pretty good, but especially with my graphics mods. Okay, then this makes more sense. So Afterlife is supposed to be going into here, so... Yeah, I would still rank it below most of these. Yeah. So this is just a little annoying with some rearrangements. I just have to move this up. If I want to rearrange all of this so that it the gap is at the bottom right, so that these are more in order. I know that ranking website does this stuff automatically. This is tedious, but there's just way too much stuff on that website. And then you have to sign up to use it properly, and then it asks like a lot of details that I don't want to give, so... I think this order is feeling right-ish. It's not definitive, but I'm feeling pretty happy with it. Now, I can't remember exactly how many games this is. This is like 112 or something like that. It's over 100. Why'd I do that? I need to move these over. And then this, and this. Cities XL, SimCity, Outpost. Yeah, these go here. And Afterlife is going there. And then this is going here. Is Thriving City Song and the Colonists... I'd probably still... No, what am I doing? I'd probably still put these two above Caesar 1. Caesar 1 is rough. Caesar 1 is rough, and there's like not really much point in existing because Caesar 2 is just better. Now keep in mind, a lot of these down here are just upcoming games. So we can't fully judge them yet, but they are promising. So I wanted to include them here. There. Upcoming games should have a separate category. I mean, yes, but they're like... That's why I say ranking 100, but there's actually like 112 here. So like the bottom, the D tier here is sort of... Some of them are like... Pre-dynastic Egypt is not even really a city builder. Moonbase, more interesting note that it's the second city builder ever. Constructor, also maybe not really a city builder. Tapped out, SimCity Social, SimCity Societies aren't even playable anymore. But yeah, from Anno 117 to Metropolis 1998, those are upcoming. Colonists, maybe not even a city builder. Thriving City Song probably should rank higher. I just wasn't personally a fan of it. Let me see what the consensus is. Thriving City Song. Consensus was that it's actually pretty good. I don't know. It should probably be above. No Songs of Six? That's a colony sim like Dwarf Fortress. I would also not list Oxygen Not Included or RimWorld. I mean, the original SimCity has some fun bits to it. But I think being fair, I should probably drop these two. Move this over. And move these up to here. Now, this is not definitive. I've not put like a lot of thought into all of these, but this is where I'm vibing right now. I think that's, I think that's kind of making sense. Do I want to tweak the top of the list? Anno 1800, City Skylines, Frostpunk, Timberborn, SimCity 4, Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic Against the Storm. I would probably move SimCity 4 down. Because although they have recently unlocked DLL modding, we need to see that come more to fruition. Now, if it comes to the Settlers 3 and 4, if we were to include those, I would probably put them somewhere around here. Probably still below Endzone 2, but above Airborne Empire. I would probably put Settlers 3 and 4 like around there. Endzone S tier surprises me quite a bit. I mean, where did I put Endzone? Endzone 1, not Endzone 2. Endzone. Yeah, Endzone is solid. Like, it's pretty good. Maybe Surviving Mars would actually rank a bit higher, just in terms of popularity, but I liked Endzone 1. Like, I think it's pretty good. Emperor has problems, but it is still Emperor. Like, maybe it makes more sense if Surviving Mars was up there. Like, in the ranks themselves, feel free to shift things around a little bit. Yeah, you don't think Manor Lords is better than Pharaoh? Thing is, Manor Lords is still in early access. The thing that pulls Pharaoh down are the bugs. I would rank Pharaoh higher if it wasn't for the game-breaking bugs. The walker glitches, the very unbalanced military on very hard. I've had... what game-breaking bugs? You know when I sank those ships in the Nile, in the floodplains? And then walkers just started spawning everywhere across the map, and then it was like a massive memory leak and the game crashed. There was that. I think that could be a glitch of modern systems. I'm unsure if that would have happened, but the walker glitches alone are a constant annoyance through the entire game. Do games like Anno 1800 and City Skylines include all the DLC or just the base game? I would say with all the DLC. Because this is in the context of today. So there was a time where the original SimCity was the best city builder in the world because it was the only city builder in the world. But now it's Still surprisingly in C tier. It's not that great a game, but Outpost is kind of buggy and incomplete. Afterlife, Caesar 1 is like not good. Then a lot of dead mobile games, which were actually surprisingly okay, but they're dead now. And then it's upcoming games. Or really weird notes more than anything. OG Pharaoh without Cleopatra had very few walker issues, yeah. But this is with Cleopatra. Caesar 3 needs to be number 1. I cannot justify, even with Augustus, Caesar 3 being number 1. Anno 1800 is one of, like, Anno 1800 is easily top 3 city builder ever made. It looks great, it plays great, it's popular, it's got tons of content. Still unhappy with Pharaoh New Era below Emperor. At the moment, even with Emperor's bugs, it's a pretty solid game. Also, Pharaoh A New Era is pulled down by the fact that we have the original Pharaoh. Again, it's kind of like how where Imperium Romanum ended up down there. Whereas Imperium Romanum is probably a better game than most of these in C tier, but Imperium Romanum is just worse than their later game, Grand Ages Rome. So by Grand Ages Rome existing, Imperium Romanum is pushed down. So by Pharaoh Cleopatra existing, Pharaoh A New Era is pushed further down because you have a different version to play. Pharaoh A New Era isn't better than the OG. I mean, it's better in some ways, but then it's worse in some ways. So the comparison makes a bigger gap. Yeah, Caesar 4 is here. It's there in B tier. Slightly ahead of Children of the Nile and Civ City Rome. I think for now, I'm quite happy with how I would rank all of these. Of course, with this many games, there is going to be no one in the world that 100% agrees with me. Like, someone will be like, oh, well, I think Tropico 1 is better than Civ City Rome. I would switch those two, and then I'd think I'd be happy. You know, it's like, no one is going to think exactly the same as me. But I do have a reason for putting it in this order for now. Now, keep in mind, none of these are bad games. Note the colors I used. When I made this graphic, I did initially put like gold, green, yellow, orange, red, and I'm like, that gives the wrong impression. I have been outspoken about how I don't like how 69% on Steam turns the rating from a bright blue to a scary orange, and then you go up to 70% and it's bright blue again. That 1% difference, changing the color completely, gives the wrong impression. So I colored it this way, where the lowest is kind of a green tinged yellow. It's not even yellow, right? We've got gold, we've got a bright blue, and more of a aqua turquoise kind of color, green, a greenish yellow. All of these are good or better. None of them are garbage. Keep in mind, this is just like 100+ games. There's a lot of games below us, all down there. And I might have forgotten something. Should have done tiers from C to SS. I didn't want to put double letters. S+. I mean, we could just put S++++, 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 S+++, S+, and S. We could have done that. I mean, sure. But space efficiency. I wanted one character on labeling each one. We could have done that. But I was trying to figure out what's the best way. I mean, D is... So keep in mind, if you're from the United States, D might be like... The way grading works in schools is very different. So like a lot of times when people say, oh, well, this Steam game got a 65% positive rating, a lot of people from the United States will say, oh, so it's a fail. And it's like, what? 65% in my country is a B. So it's like, you don't apply your high school grading to these grades. Like, we're not from the same countries, we're not from the same education systems. The letter grading is different in various countries. 60% in your country is the first passing grade. Yeah, but then like a lot of countries have, some countries have 60 to 69% being a fail. In your university, 94% was a B, right? A is just 95% to 100%, right? So that's why read the colors more than anything else. The colors matter more than the actual letters. Because I could have ranked it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but then that also feels weird. So yeah, there we go. 100 plus games. You would probably enjoy almost all of these. For the ones that you can still get. Like, some things get a bit contentious down here. But that's how I would rank the best city builders in the world. Probably missing a couple, but as far as I can remember, anything else I would either rank below this or I would rank it as not a city builder. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this. Do let me know your opinions and comments and thoughts. What you would change, what you would add, what you would remove from the list because it's not a city builder. I'd love to know all of it because I would like to solidify this into a final list, and your opinions will influence how this ends up. Now, you can't just say, that game sucks, I hate that game. That doesn't convince me of anything. Have some thoughts, have some reasons, and then I'll be like, actually that's a good point. Let me change up the graphic. But don't be like, screw that game in particular. I can't believe you included that game. That doesn't change anything on the graphic. Hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. I've got lots of gameplay for most of these, actually. Go check out those. Just search the channel for the title and you'll probably find a video on it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in one of those videos.